This episode is sponsored by the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. July's featured entertainment includes Mammoth WVH on the 19th and Danae Hayes on the 20th. Details and tickets at HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com. Also enjoy complimentary beverages when playing with your Penn Play card. Visit the Penn Play Center to sign up. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor and attend a show. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. It's tearing up my heart versus quit playing games with my heart as Joey Fatone of NSYNC joins AJ McLean of the Backstreet Boys for a special show tomorrow night at MGM National Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland. I caught up with Fatone to preview this exciting boy band mashup.
Hello.
Hey, is this Joey Fatone?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Joey Fatone, it's Jason Fraley, WTOP. Thanks for joining us here in Washington, D.C.
My pleasure. No problem, brother.
We are talking because you, Joey Fatone, famously of NSYNC, are going to be teaming with a member of the Backstreet Boys, AJ McLean, at MGM National Harbor here in nation's capital this Saturday, July 20th. Now, is this like the first combo tour between an NSYNC or Backstreet Boys member? Have you done this before?
As far as an NSYNC and Backstreet Boy member tour or show itself, I believe, yeah. I mean, I've done a few other ones and done little one-offs here and there, and me and Lance have done stuff with Nick and AJ from Backstreet, but the starting of it really came out with this idea that was called Joey Fatone and Friends, where I did stuff at Epcot, Disney World, where it was kind of like a performance with other celebrities. Then I did a thing out in Vegas called After Party, which was kind of like a Rat Pack idea, which was myself, Wanya Morris from Boyz II Men, Nick Carter, and AJ. And from that show, that's kind of spun off to the thing that me and AJ's been doing. So we kind of came up with this idea where we did a 90s concert, if you will, in Tampa for a 90s con. There was like this Comic-Con thing. So we kind of wanted to do some 90s show there to see, proof of concept. Did it. People loved it. I went and did actually a performance over at F1 in Vegas for a corporate event. Said, hey, obviously we did this for our fans. This is more of a corporate event. Not sure if it's going to work, but let's see if the show works too. So we did the same show, and obviously our age bracket is pretty good in the same age as where people are now in the business standpoint, are in like CEOs and head people. So again, right. The generation and the music is there for them in that area. So it worked for us there. So then started taking it on the road, did 10 shows, filled that out. And now we've been adding more shows. If we can, we'll try to add as more as we can. It's been great. We've been singing NSYNC songs, Backstreet songs, a bunch of songs in between. We have a dice that we throw a die, one of these big blow up dice out into the audience, and it rolls around basically like a hot potato. When the music stops, the person that's obviously in the audience holds up the dice, and whatever number's on that die, we sing a song from on a chart that has from 1 to 6, and it's just random songs like Sweet Transvestite from Rocky Horror Picture Show. We have a swing version of Little Mermaid, Party Your World. I mean, it's just random stuff. It's hysterical. It's really funny. It's great.
Oh, so there's literally a Little Mermaid slot on the dice. So you might have to bust out your dingle hopper and your snarf.
Correct. Well, it all depends on what we decide, because that's the greatest thing about the show. We keep changing those numbers, especially those dice numbers. Those songs change every show, and every time everybody's getting something different. You'll get like the beginning of the show the same, the ending of the show the same, but everything in between, we always change the songs up.
That is great. Now, in terms of the actual songs, like, how does it work? Do you take turns back and forth, like you do an NSYNC, AJ does a Backstreet, or you're together?
No, we do it. We do it all together. We do together, some we do individual. Some songs I'm singing Backstreet, some songs he's singing NSYNC. So it's a combination of everything that you're saying. Actually, believe it or not, we even go through a whole medley of a bunch of different slow jams that NSYNC sang and Backstreet sang. And what it sound like if obviously AJ were just sing the NSYNC song and if I would sing the Backstreet song. So we do a lot of that as well. So it's a combination. It's awesome.
That's cool. So I didn't realize you're like sort of transposing and flipping where you each take the other band's boy band songs. That's
yeah.
Cool.
And then we also take certain songs and flip it. Like, for instance, The Call from Backstreet. We do like this whole Latin version of it. And then Tearing Up My Heart, I do like this kind of jazz kind of swing version, if you will, like a big band kind of thing. So we kind of take certain songs and mash them up a little bit, but also we also do like '80s and '90s songs. I mean, again, we throw in a whole bunch of stuff. Basically, when people see the show, thank goodness that the reaction we get every time is this has been such a blast, so much fun, a great night out to have a great time, and it's kind of what we love to do. I mean, we're performers, we're cheese balls, so it's kind of like we love to perform. So this is a great opportunity to do that for everybody.
Oh, I'm a cheese ball. Our listeners are cheese, but everybody bring on the cheese ball. It's funny you mentioned mashups. I always thought, and maybe you have this in the shows, but I always thought Tearing Up My Heart and Quit Playing Games with My Heart would be a great mashup. They're both, the heart is similar. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's true. That's a possibility. It's a possibility. we started doing a whole bunch of weird mashups, and every time we do something will happen. Like, oh, let's use that. Let's do this. So we're always changing and mixing things up, which is great.
Yeah. And then, I mean, obviously your performer is not just singing, you can also dance. And speaking of mashups, I thought there could be some choreographical mashups too, because you're an NSYNC's dance move, your No Strings Attached, with the hands on the puppet is similar to the everybody, the little hand motion. You know what I mean?
The hand wrist motion. You are correct on that. It's so funny. I got to try to learn the chair dance is what I've been waiting to learn to do for one of the songs that they have. It's what is it called? Even in my, I'm thinking of the song, but I can't think of the damn name of the title. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it just went blank. Quit Playing Games with My Heart, I think it is. It's one of the songs. There's a chair dance or something in it. I don't know if it's chair. One of them. It's a chair dance. Anyway, got to learn it. But we do Bye Bye Bye. We do a little bit of dance, movements from there. A little bit of everybody. So it's fun. The greatest thing about it is it is a free for all. We've had people come up on stage and they knew the choreography full out. So sometimes we just sit there and they'd be dancing the whole choreography. It's great. It's amazing to watch how exciting. And the cool thing about it is too, the other thing is to see NSYNC and Backstreet Boy fans in the same place. And they're not beating each other up. It's not like the Jets and the Sharks from like West Side Story. So we're good.
Yeah, exactly. No snapping fingers. It's everybody dancing.
No. They're not going to kick ball change.
It's funny you mentioned that. Because the dancing and how everybody knows it. Like my wife and I were at this event the other day. It wasn't a wedding. It was like a charity thing. And the DJ was playing a bunch of hit songs. Everyone was afraid to go out on the dance floor. And the moment he went into this boy band mashup, everybody, some of them, however many years later, that's what got everybody out there nostalgically loving it. So why do you think that is, man?
I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
Everybody's a fan. I always say there's two people that were NSYNC fans and then pretended they weren't NSYNC fans, but actually were.
It's always interesting when they're like, "Oh, that's really cool," and then all of a sudden they're like, "That's sweet," and then all of a sudden they're like, I was never really they'll be on the side go, "Listen, I was never really a Backstreet Boy fan, but you know what? I'm becoming a Backstreet Boy," or vice versa. They'd be like, "Listen, I've never been a Joey fan or anything about NSYNC, but watching this show, they became." Fans of the other groups now, which is actually really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. You mentioned Sharks and Jets. Was there actually a rivalry in the beat? Because I guess Backstreet came out just before NSYNC, but it was around the same time in the late 90s. But was there a rivalry between you all, or did you sort of view it as like a friendly rivalry that was like pushing each other's,
The funny part about it was I think, we, as us being that young, I guess we really didn't know exactly. It was more like, oh, those guys are doing their own thing. They're very busy. But it's almost like, we had the same management team. So when Backstreet signed with like Burger King, we signed with McDonald's. When Backstreet did a Pepsi thing, we did Coke. So it was that friendly competition, but yet it was going back and forth that the management team and the company, think about it, we're actually cashing in on both of those because they were with the same company at that time, back in the day. So it was never really a rival. I can't even say the damn word right now. It's too early. Rivalry or anything like that. But it was more or less of like, I think the only beef that anybody had, I think, was with Chris and AJ because they dated the same girl, not at the same time, but they dated the same girl, and it was like one after another. It's like, oh man, it's messed up or something like that. They're past that now, but there was never really any animosity or like, oh, screw those guys, they're mean or whatever. It was just, It never was like that. It was just, hey man, they're doing that. Well, we're gonna do something better, or we're gonna do something different. Let's figure out what we can do with that. It was that. That's really what it was.
Oh, I didn't realize. All right, so AJ McLean, your co-star here, he there was a time where he wanted to say, Chris Kirkpatrick, you'll get your butt kicked, but not. It wasn't actually on that level.
He should have, though. He should have.
Hey, you've been generous with your time. Final seconds. I do want to tote some of your other, stuff you've done beyond NSYNC, beyond these boy band shows. You've been, and it's funny you mentioned rolling a dice because you've become a bit of like the king of the game shows, man. I feel like if I turn on Game Show Network, I know you were like the voice of the announcer of Family
Family
Feud for a
Feud, yep.
while.
Did
Yeah,
Family Feud for a little bit. Then I was doing way back I did the Singing Bee show. Now I was doing Common Knowledge. And
yeah.
they're fun. I mean, they're a lot of fun. It's something that at first I just never thought that, hey, something that I could do, and be good at it, and being able to. And for me though, I just love having fun and to doing those shows, especially when somebody approaches me and stuff like that. It's nice that I'm able to pick and choose what I want to do. So shows like that, I like. You know what? That sounds like fun. Like, do I want to do it? I'm like, nah, I don't want to waste my time. Like, it sounds funny, but I'm pretty financially secure with, not like, ooh, I'm millions and millions of dollars, but you know what? I'm comfortable to where I don't have to go crazy working 24/7. But there's things that excite me. There are things that are fun, things that I haven't done that I still want to do. And that's why I keep doing them. Like this show, like, doing this legendary night with AJ has been awesome. It's been such a different twist of something that we never thought would happen or come about. Now we've been doing. Again, like I said, me and him love to perform. So this is kind of a thank you to our fans and to say, hey, you know what? Especially for NSYNC, since we haven't done crap. And I mean, we've done with Trolls 3, but we haven't really done any performances and touring per se. But, to do that and to do that with AJ, and AJ's been still touring with Backstreet and stuff like that, it's awesome. It's great. Why not?
Absolutely. Yeah, the Trolls 3 and that reunion you all did at that, what was it, MTV, I guess, award shows, was everyone was loving it. But it was important to me to give you your shout out there about the game shows and everything else you're done, Dancing with the Stars, because you've built your name, and a lot of people in groups don't do that. They're just always associated with the group, but you have made, Joey Fatone, you've made it into a brand of its own, in addition, parallel careers to these boy band shows. So mad props, dude.
Thanks, man. It's just fun to be able to reinvent and just kind of keep the boy band dream alive, Keep it out there.
Absolutely. Keep it alive. If we have final seconds, I want to rapid fire one word memory. I'm going to throw out all your NSYNC guys. Just rapid fire, and you just say what you think brought them to the. You don't have to embarrass them. Give them a compliment. What they brought to the group. So
JC's got probably, for our group and for pretty much anybody out there, probably the best voice out there in the world. Go ahead, next.
Great, JC.
Amazing vocalist.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, better than Justin. We all say it.
Yeah. Chris Kirkpatrick.
Chris Kirkpatrick, crazy MF. Love him to death. He, spontaneity. He's very spontaneous sometimes. That's a good word for him. Spontaneous.
There you go. Lance Bass.
Lance Bass, gay, which I love him. No, he's awesome. He's very business savvy. What else do I say about him? He's awesome. He's just a sweetheart. He's a guy's guy, believe it or not. He knows more sports than I do. He's always into football. I'm like, no, I like musicals. Forget that. But he's always business savvy. I think that's another word, good word for him. Business savvy.
Love it. And of course, Justin Timberlake. No one really heard of him after the group.
Hard worker, man.
The Michael Jackson of the group.
Right? He's a hustler. No, he's a hustler, man. He's one of the main guys that really has a passion for music. Honestly, he's a big writer. The same thing with JC. I'm not the biggest writer, obviously, and if I was, I'd be doing music. So that's why that's not the route that I took. So for me, it's a little bit different. But for him, I think he's a hard worker, man. He's a go-getter.
He is. He's been going through some stuff lately. I'm not going to make you comment on it, but she want to give him well wishes.
It's all good. It is all good. Things happen.
yeah. Well wishes all around. We want people to succeed. Hey, thank you, Joe. Oh, and we got to end. Joey Fatone. What would they say about you in the rapid fire? What would they say about Joey? Your part.
I'm just crazy. Happy-go-lucky. Always look at the bright side of stuff. I'm always optimistic.
Awesome. Well, it was an optimistic interview, and I really appreciate it. Everybody, come out to see.
Thank you. Appreciate that, brother.
Joey Fatone of NSYNC with AJ McLean and Backstreet Boys at MGM National Harbor this Saturday, July 20th. So get your tickets now. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.